I know what you're thinking. It hasn't happened yet, but the writing is on the wall. It is inevitable, like Thanos. Raheem Morris is absolutely no longer going to be the Falcons head coach in 2026. Welcome in, Falcons fans, to Falcons Today by Chat Sports. My name is Moose. Coming up on today's show, Raheem Morris replacements for whenever the hammer actually does drop, because I have no belief that the front office will keep Raheem Morris after the season's done. Can we just call a spade a spade? It's getting worse. The offensive product, the lack of game management, the overall lack of leadership from Raheem and this coaching staff, it continues to get worse. The Falcons players have no buy-in with this coaching staff whatsoever. And if you don't believe me, if you're like Moose, you're just grasping at straws. Actually, I'm not. The most recent betting odds have Raheem Morris over guys like Mike McDaniel getting fired. Raheem is a minus 175. If you're not familiar with the betting game, that pretty much means the overwhelming favorite is going to be Raheem Morris to lose his job next. After that, it's Jonathan Gannon and Pete Carroll. Both of those teams suck. So what does that tell you? It's telling you something. It's telling you that nobody believes that Raheem Morris deserves to be the coach of this football team. And nobody trusts Zach Robinson leading and developing Michael Penix Jr. and this offense. So, like I said, when it inevitably happens, these are the names, or at least some of the names, that I believe the Atlanta Falcons could go after. Let's start with Brian Flores. Now, these go in no particular order, right? Brian Flores is not my top choice, but I will just give you guys some names. So this is in no particular order. Brian Flores, the defensive coordinator of the Minnesota Vikings. Flores and Albrecht, by the way, would fit perfectly together. Schematically, they do a lot of very similar things. They like to use a lot of defensive stunts. They like to blitz often. They like to blitz heavy, and they like to have creative blitzes. So safety blitzes, corner blitzes, different packaging when it comes to their blitzes. There's a lot that Brian Flores could look at and lick his chops with when it comes to this Falcons pass rush, which is probably, I can't believe I'm saying it, the best part of this team. Think about that, Falcons fans. We went from last year praying that we got a pass rush, that we could get after the quarterback. And now we've got one, and everything else is a shit show. So what do we know? The Falcons blitz the most in the NFL. That is a fact. We also know a fact is Flores is a super aggressive blitzer. Take two. And then this young core of pass rushers is probably one that he looks at and goes, I can mold this. I can work with this. The Falcons have 29 sacks so far. Last year in 2024, as a total throughout 17 games, they had 31. They're 2 away from beating their 2024 totals. I mean, I think that's pretty incredible, don't you think? Brian Flores has some amazing traits as well as a head coach. He is a leader of men. He holds his players accountable. He holds himself accountable. Unlike Raheem Morris that just says, got to find ways to execute, got to find ways to get it done, got to win those football games, got to get better at third down. You could pull that frickin' string all day long and you'll have the exact same 5 answers every single week at the mic. Stupid. He also has some head coaching experience, and also something that needs to be looked upon, he's worked with a lefty before. Tua, who, let's be completely honest, has one of the worst quarterback traits of all. He's super injury prone. Now, Michael Penix Jr. also has some injuries, but not with the concussions like Tua does. So at least there are some similarities to what the Falcons currently have right now and what the Miami Dolphins had when Flores was their head coach. Before I continue on with the rest of my head coach candidates, do me a favor and get down in the comments section. Who do you want as the next Falcons head coach? If you're in the live chat right now, spam it down in the live chat. Let's get this chat right flowing. Coming up next, my Raheem replacement. Oh, yes. Now we're cooking with gas. Klint Kubiak, offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. Look, if you would have told me at the beginning of the year that Klint Kubiak was going to be in the head coaching search, I probably would have been like, yeah, but is he really a serious candidate? Boy, was I wrong. This guy is legit. He has one of the most efficient offenses in the NFL. Him, Daniel Jones, and Shane Steichen in Indianapolis are humming. I mean, if you don't believe me, look at what he's done with Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold, yes, I remember last year with Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota, he was awesome too. But 71% completion percentage, 2,200 yards passing, 17 touchdowns, 6 picks, and a passer rating of 116.5. And why do they have such a high efficient offense? Probably because they actually run a pro-style offense. Crazy concept there, Zach. Sorry, Zachary. We no longer call you Zach Robinson or Z-Rob. You're Zachary Robinson now. Seattle is the highest team to run under center and play action in the NFL. Bottom 5, who's number 32? The Falcons. Look at the stark difference there. You literally go from 1 to 32, and the results are proving. The results prove it. Quarterback efficiency, all-time high for Sam Darnold. Just study this for 1 second. If you're in the live chat, notice who's at the very top right, and notice who's at the bottom left. Yes, J.J. McCarthy, Cam Ward, and Dylan Gabriel, but Michael Penix is right above Trevor Lawrence. This is clear and obvious to me. This guy knows how to run an NFL offense. And I think he would crush in Atlanta. Because here's the one thing that Kubiak would take what does he want from a team? He wants weapons. He wants somebody and a team that he can utilize in the passing game and in the run game. He would absolutely crush in Atlanta. Well, the Falcons have a number 1 wide receiver in Drake London, one of the best backs in the NFL in Bijan Robinson. We'll touch on that here in a little bit as well. Before I continue on with the remainder of my head coaching replacements, I got to tell you about my friends over at HelloFresh. Fall is back, my friends, and sometimes the craving for something warm and satisfying hits a little bit harder in the fall. That's where HelloFresh comes in, bringing you comforting chef-designed recipes and fresh seasonal ingredients right to your door. This season, they've taken things to the next level with their biggest menu refresh yet. Say hello to a brand new way to do dinner. It is healthier. Feel great with even healthier menu options filled with high-protein and veggie-packed recipes. HelloFresh now helps you eat greener with new veggie-packed recipes that have 2 or more veggies inside. There's a reason 91% of customers say they feel healthier eating with HelloFresh. The best way to cook just got a little bit better. Go to HelloFresh.com/FalconsChat10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. That's 1 per box with active subscription. Free meals apply to discount on first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/FalconsChat10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. All of that in the comments and description of today's video. Moving forward. Ooh, interesting. Mike McCarthy. Now, there might be a couple of people that are like, I don't want Mike McCarthy. Isn't he unemployed? Didn't he get fired from Dallas? Yes, but he's a B-plus hiring. He's the ultimate stabilizer of NFL franchises. Look at what happened when he had Aaron Rodgers. They were relevant for the entirety of Rodgers' tenure in Green Bay. What happened when he went to Dallas? Same thing. They had 3 straight years of 12-5. I don't want to hear for a second that Mike McCarthy can't coach. Is he Kyle Shanahan? Is he Sean McVay? Is he Andy Reid, Sean Payton? No, but the last 5 seasons, he's been excellent. Well, maybe not excellent because 2024 and 2020, you had losing records. But if you remember, in 2024, Dak was injured for a large majority of that season. You had Cooper Rush as your quarterback, and they still went 7-10. Hell, the Falcons might finish 7-10 with Michael Penix Jr., Drake London, and Bijan all healthy. And also, sidebar, 2023 Dak finished second in MVP voting. I think Mike McCarthy knows what to do with quarterbacks. Now, you could make the argument that both of the quarterbacks that Mike McCarthy had are really, really excellent talents. Aaron Rodgers, future Hall of Famer. Dak, probably the ultimate franchise quarterback. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer, but the ultimate franchise guy. So just something to think about there. I think Mike McCarthy would be a very good hire. It wouldn't be a great hire, but it would absolutely bring the Falcons from the mediocrity that they currently live in up to relevancy in 2026. Quick TV timeout real quick and to ask you to hit that sub button for us. We're almost halfway to 46,000 subs here on the channel. That's pretty incredible. So do me a favor, if you love the fresh, entertaining, engaging Falcons content on the daily, hit that free big red subscribe button. Our last Raheem replacement. I'm feeling nicey, man. I'll tell you what. Spider 2 wide banana, man. Jon Gruden. Why not? Why not? Make a splash play, bro. Bro, that's what I meant to say. Jon Gruden will absolutely be a media circus. Now, we want real head coaches. We don't just want the media attention. But Gruden is a master motivator. He's also been very clear he wants to coach again. There's been a lot of rumors that he might be going to college to coach Arkansas or maybe Penn State or even LSU. But I do think the NFL is his home. It's what he's most comfortable with. He's won a Super Bowl. Hell, in the exact same division. And here's him with Jackson Dart. There's a lot of speculation that he could get the Giants job after Brian Dable got fired, but I'm willing to bypass that. I think Jon Gruden wants to be somewhere where people want Jon Gruden. I think he would come into, remember, he was with the Raiders. The Raiders are always starving for good football. Their fan base is just like the Falcons. They crave it. They crave it. So I think Gruden could look at this and say, I'm ready to right the wrongs that I had in Las Vegas and join the Atlanta Falcons with a plethora of options and talent, And remember, one more thing before we wrap up our little list here. Jon Gruden is old school. He loves to run the football. Loves to run the football. He loves running backs that have talent. Well, who's the ultimate talent running back in the NFL? Bijan. Just something to chew on there, mull over, think about for a little bit. But I think it would be excellent to hire Jon Gruden. That's going to do it for us on today's episode. A reminder to hit that subscribe button, like today's video, rise up Atlanta Falcons fans, and be cool.